My name is Insane Raven, and today on IO Reviews, we're doing Russian Doll, Netflix's one of the newer Netflix shows. It came out on the 1st of February. It is now the 7th, and hopefully this is going to go out later tonight or tomorrow morning if I remember to upload it, but that's not important. We're here to talk about Russian Doll and Russian Dolls, that show, and see if it isn't any good. Not like the gameplay, but is the show any good? And quick review. It's all right. It's something that for the first 4 episodes, for the first half of the first season, it's kind of boring and not really worth your time. And honestly, that was kind of upsetting. I ended up watching the first four episodes, which they're only half-hour long episodes, so it's not like you're wasting too much time going ahead and watching it. But it's like, I don't really care about the premise or anything like that. I'm kind of just here to go ahead and see whatever happens with this character. Because the main character, Nadia, is really great. My biggest critique of her is that, it feels a bit too much like a prequel to this actress's character in Orange is the New Black, but same actress, same kind of character of being a drug addict, and one's in prison, one's not. That's the only real difference. If you missed the trailer, the premise of the show is simple. Girl on her birthday gets killed. Girl comes back to life at her birthday party. Rinse and repeat until death. Again and again and again and again. It's pretty much Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day, except a little bit smarter and a little bit more divine. I do want to, without spoiling too much in this part of the episode, it is a little bit more and a little bit less of both of those things combined, which, depending on who you are, is a major plus or a major loss. All the characters are, well, let me rephrase. Most of their characters are pretty useless. With the exception of Nadia and another character that you meet in the second half of the season. Most of the characters really aren't worth their time, which is upsetting. You do end up liking them and, I wouldn't quite say missing them, but appreciating the fact that they're there. It's not like, oh, I have to deal with this guy again, which can often happen in these shows where they're trying to build to a bigger thing and a bigger story. So I'm glad to say that that doesn't happen here, but with with the first good half of the show, it's like, okay, we're just setting up the premise and we're setting up everything, which, I mean, you have 2 hours to set all that up. I wish they would have been done a little quicker, but nope. Which is super disappointing. I'm gonna just go ahead and mute everyone because they're driving me insane, and it's super distracting when I'm trying to do a review show. But if it wasn't for the fact that I decided to watch this show with a friend, I probably wouldn't have made it through the first four episodes. The first 4 episodes are very much like, here's who you have to know, here's what you have to do. These are all the things that we need you to understand fully. And then by the 7th episode, because only 8 episodes in, I was very much invested in, like, I need to know what happens next. So it is eventually worth watching once you get there, but other than that, it's a pretty standard by the numbers, like, hey, what would happen if this was a thing? Which, it's weird that that's like, can now be considered a genre of things. It's like, oh, this thing that really shouldn't happen or shouldn't exist, of person dies and keep reliving the same day over and over and over again, or just reliving the same day over and over and over again, is a little bit weird. But hey, Netflix rarely says no to an idea, And the payoff is amazing, which is the main reason why I'd recommend it. The first half is a little bit rough, but if you do make it to the end, it is well worth the wait. And it's something that I wish, just pacing wise, they would have done more with. With this being the spoiler free section, I can't really go into too many details, but just know that all the time you kind of put in is definitely rewarded by the end. And that's pretty much the best I can say about it without going to some spoilery territory, which is upsetting. So, a quickie non-spoiler review. Go see it. Have a good time. Watch it with a friend. Joke and laugh along with it. And kind of just enjoy the show. It's a quick and easy watch. The entire season only takes up about 4 hours, which I know it seems like a lot, but with the 8 episodes, each one being about 27 minutes long, they're getting your hyperproverbial money's worth. It's not going to break your time. It's not going to break your bank for watching it, is what I'm trying to say. But that's the real quickie review. Thank you guys for watching. My name has been Insane Raven, and if you don't want to see spoilers, this is your time to check out now, because spoilers are coming. Spoilers are coming. Spoilers are coming. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers are coming. Spoilers are coming. Spoilers are coming. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers are coming. If you're still watching at this point, you must really like my singing. Or you didn't give a fuck about spoilers, which if that's the case, good for you. Okay, so let's get into spoilers because it's fun. Spoilers are fun. Alright, so the second half of the show is by far the much better half of the show. With all the groundwork that the first 4 episodes lead up to, when things start to go awry, more than they already are, obviously, it is not only noticeable, but it's very impactful and almost emotional at some points. You end up meeting the second character named Alan, who ends up being integral to getting out of this Groundhog Day ripoff. And that is because the reason why they are being cursed in this continual loop is that they, according to the stories, that they could have saved each other had they made 1 or 2 decisions differently. But because they didn't, they are now in this never-ending cycle of dying. And it's a really unique take. And with the main character being as smart as she is, it's something that I wouldn't say she picks up on exactly, because she's not the type of character to be like, oh, our morality put us here. It's just, there's a cosmic whatever, and there's a timeline shift, so fuck it all. But the way that it's explained away, first off, it doesn't make it sound like it's just being explained away. It seems like something that, logically, you could have gone into the same reaction to if you just paid better attention. Can someone, which is something I didn't think I'd enjoy half as much, but I really did. So, the whole show kind of builds up to the last 3 episodes, where things are not going right at all. The established pattern of you die, everything's back to normal, you move on, has been completely disrupted at this point. And dying then again becomes scary, which is something that all these kind of genre shows end up eventually getting to, is that no, you've had enough time to kind of like figure out what's going on. This shit's for real now. It turns scary, but this is probably one of the more effective uses of that. Like, by the end I was like, oh shit, we might lose here. And the show is very, I wouldn't say heavy-handed, but very blatant about things can go anywhere at any time, but it's about the connections that you make and those kind of fulfillments that makes one character perceive this way or that way. It's almost as if Life is Strange became a TV show in some aspects, and I really enjoyed that. Whereas characters that you meet in the first half of the season are compassionate and someone that you almost want to see better for. By the end of it, because of a different timeline and different scenario, they end up being an asshole and someone that you're not quite sure if you can trust. I'm talking about, in this instance, I'm talking about the homeless guy, but it also happens a couple of times throughout the show, so it is fascinating to see. And it's something that, by the end of it, I wasn't quite sure if I should feel like this was a success or not, with the characters in play. The finale takes place where they pretty much are running out of options and running out of chances to fix everything, and they end up in two different timelines, the main characters, which at this point have had their arguments, have kind of gone through all of the, oh, this is what we're supposed to do in these type of shows type of things, being that they're complete polar opposites, because hilarity ensues. It is, oh wow, it is really great. It's the type of show that you end up watching, like, and like, oh, okay, I kind of know where this is gonna go, and then it pulls almost a 180. It's like, oh, this is so much bigger than it can be explained. And it's one of the shows that if you're paying attention, you will see all, like, you kind of see everything coming, not in the way of like it's poorly written, but it's done in such an intelligent way that it's fascinating. Like my friend, as I was watching, I kind of put this idea out there. It was like, hey, what if they're dying at the exact same time? And my friend looked at me and she goes, oh, you didn't get that? I'm like, and I paused it and I'm like, well, what do you mean? She goes, well, Alan, the second main character, has kind of been in the show since the beginning. We're just now meeting him. Like, this isn't the first time he's been here. And then you can see him in all the different episodes and all the different times they've tried to do this. He's been there. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I can't believe that they did that. And then right as we hit pause and continue to watch the episode, Nadia goes, are we dying at the same time? And I was like, whoa, dude. And it was like, that's awesome. Dope. And it became this thing of like, this show is so well done. The first episodes, even though while you're watching them and the time is this thing that's like, it's integral to setting up that huge payoff of, no, these are characters that you've met before, and everything is in this cycle, but if you've been paying attention, there have been little things here and there that have been changing. Like, she brought up the fact that the handle to the bathroom door that Nadia's in is a gun. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then, but as she said that, I realized that we hadn't seen that footage of her opening the door again. It's because the door had changed and parts of the cycle had changed. And it's only something that if you're watching it intensely that you're going to see. And it's something that like made me give credit to how good the show actually is. Even though when we were first watching it, I was like, okay, I'll keep watching it because you're here and I'm okay with it. And the main character's a riot, but like, I'm not quite sure. And then it goes into this like whole thing of like, oh, well, it's all about the psychological trauma and like the mental well-being of XYZ and this person here and that person there. And it's like, oh, this show was so cool. And it's something that I'm not gonna say her name because it's in Russian and I'm probably gonna butcher it if I tried, but it is the main character's project essentially, and it's done to the point like I can see, not only can I see the passion, but like you as a producer and as a performer is way smarter than I gave credit for, and I'm sorry I doubted you. I don't know, personally, I cannot recommend it enough. However, if you're watching this part of the show, I've kind of already spoiled the best parts of it. So, I do recommend like watching it and trying to, with a friend who hasn't seen this video or hasn't watched it already, just to see if they can pick up on some of the nuances that come with the show. Because it is really fascinating. But that's all I got for this video. I highly recommend watching Russian Dolls on Netflix. And I will see you guys in my next review. Bye-bye. Did I get the two of them? No, I just got the one. Okay. Bye-bye.